It is Tuesday, 7 a.m. The alarm goes off. You shower. You burn your toast. You sit in traffic. You answer emails that could have been meetings. It is a day indistinguishable from the Monday before it, or the Wednesday that will follow, except for one tiny digital detail. Your phone screen lights up with a notification. It's your birthday today. The world tells you that today is supposed to be magic. Society dictates that for these 24 specific hours, you are the main character of the universe. You are supposed to be garlanded with attention, drowning in cake, and radiating a mandatory performative joy. But you? You swipe the notification away. You feel nothing, or perhaps a vague sense of relief when the sun finally sets and you realize nobody at the office noticed. We have a cultural obsession with birthdays. We view people who ignore them with deep suspicion. Are they sad? Are they lonely? Are they the Grinch trying to steal the joy of aging? Today, we are cracking open the minds of the birthday skippers. And what we find inside isn't necessarily sadness. It's a complex web of psychology, neuroscience, and a radically different approach to existence. If you love your birthday, listen to this to understand the people who don't. And if you're the type who just wants to treat it like a normal Tuesday, welcome home. This is the psychology of the invisible celebration. Why do some of us recoil from our own special day? The first psychological pillar is what we call the burden of expectation. Psychologists have long studied the gap between expectation and reality. It is the primary formula for disappointment. Birthdays are the Olympics of this gap. We are conditioned from infancy to believe a birthday is a crescendo, a climax of the year. But for the birthday skipper, the day doesn't represent joy. It represents pressure. The pressure to have plans. The pressure to have enough friends to fill a table. The pressure to look like you are having the time of your life. It is effectively a performance review for your social life, scheduled annually. If you are predisposed to social anxiety, or if you are highly introverted, being the center of attention isn't a gift, it's an emotional tax. This links to the psychological concept of the spotlight effect. This is the cognitive bias, where we tend to overestimate how much other people notice and evaluate us. For the anxious person on their birthday, the spotlight effect is turbocharged. They feel every eye is on them, judging the quality of their celebration, judging their worth by the number of posts on their timeline. Treating the day as normal is a defense mechanism. By lowering the stakes to zero, you guarantee you cannot lose. You cannot be disappointed if you never hoped for anything in the first place. But sometimes, it's not about present-day anxiety. It's about the past. We cannot talk about birthday aversion without talking about memory and trauma. For many, birthdays were not the idyllic scenes painted by Hallmark commercials. If your childhood home was volatile, birthdays might have been the days when the dysfunction was loudest. The forced gathering of feuding relatives. The parent who used gifts as manipulation. The year nobody showed up to the party. These aren't just bad memories. They are neural pathways. The brain is an association machine. It learns through pattern recognition. If the concept of birthday was repeatedly paired with conflict, disappointment, or neglect during your formative years, your adult brain will naturally trigger an avoidance response. It's Pavlovian. The bell rings, but instead of salivating, you brace for impact. When these individuals treat their birthday like a normal day, they aren't being cynical. They are breaking a cycle. They are refusing to participate in a ritual that historically caused them pain. By neutralizing the day, they are taking the power back from the ghosts of their past. However, we must be careful not to pathologize everyone who skips their birthday. Enter the philosophers, the Stoics, the pragmatists, and the rebels. For a significant portion of the normal day crowd, their stance is purely logical. They view the intense emotional investment in a single 24-hour period as irrational. Think about it. Why is age 30 significantly different than age 29 and 364 days? The arbitrary nature of the calendar holds no weight for them. This often ties into a rejection of consumerist culture. We are constantly told that love and self-worth must be demonstrated through purchases, cards, gifts, expensive dinners. The rebel rejects the obligation of the gift economy. They find the forced reciprocal exchange of stuff to be inauthentic. They might deeply value their friends and family, but they resent the schedule. They want to celebrate connections spontaneously, when it feels real, not when a calendar notification demands it. By treating their birthday as normal, they are asserting autonomy. They are saying, "I will not be told when to feel special. I will not be told how to measure my life's value." And finally, we reach the most overlooked psychology of all. The group that society understands the least, the truly contented. We often assume that if someone doesn't celebrate loudly, they must be lacking something. But what if the opposite is true? If you are deeply unhappy with your daily life, a birthday offers a temporary escape, a glittering life raft in a sea of drudgery. You need that one day to feel okay. You need the spike of dopamine because your baseline is low. But what if you actually like your life? People who treat their birthday like a normal day often possess high levels of trait contentment. They don't need the external validation of a party because their internal validation system is fully functional. They don't need a spike of dopamine once a year because their baseline serotonin is steady. When every day feels pretty good, you don't need to artificially inflate one of them. Their normal day isn't boring. Their normal day is enough. So the next time you encounter someone who treats their birthday like just another Tuesday, resist the urge to pity them. Resist the urge to force a party hat onto their head. They might be protecting themselves from anxiety. They might be healing from the past. They might be philosophically objecting to the hype. Or they might just be genuinely happy with a quiet Tuesday. Birthdays are complicated because humans are complicated. Perhaps the healthiest approach isn't mandatory celebration or rigid avoidance. It's authenticity. If you love the confetti, throw the party. But if your ideal birthday involves takeaway food, a good movie, and 0 phone calls, then that is exactly how you should spend it. Because the only person you need to satisfy on the anniversary of your birth is the person in the mirror.